Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back. So today I am back with my sister Melanie Murphy.
Why did I do a two-hand wave? That's so awkward.
Jazz hands!
We haven't filmed together in ages and we're just so awkward. We're like, hi, it's me. I'm back.
So today we said we'd sit down and do a Q&A because we haven't done a Q&A together in over 2 years.
Yeah.
We've only done one video together in over 2 years, and we used to collab most months together. It was such a regular thing we used to do, and now that we have made up and the relationship has...
Some of them might not know that we fell out. We'll discuss that in this video.
Yeah, we're talking about that in this video.
But yeah, like a lot of you probably found us through our collabs and we want to get back on the train. So, because it was so fun. That's how we became close in the first place.
Yeah.
What did they ask?
They asked a lot. Okay, so how do you each manage to maintain your privacy while sharing so much online? We'll start a bit softer and then we'll get into the hard
That's
stuff.
soft. Fuck.
Jesus,
lads.
Question.
It is a good question, but like, oh my god. Let's start with a lighter one. That's
Okay.
just like...
I think this is a good question, and I'm interested in this. Mel, do you
Yes.
ever have a problem with taking Jess seriously because she's younger than you? Take it away.
No, not now. I think when you were like a really young teenager, like, and you'd get so upset over like, you know, a spot. You know, obviously then when you're older, you're like, I know that this isn't going to ruin her whole life. So like, yeah, like, but I would still try and like, you know, but no, like you're
But
not
now-
young. I don't think you're an adult.
Oh no, Mel, don't do this to me. I'm already having a quarter life crisis. You're not young, like, please just tell me I'm young. I want to feel young.
You're not my teenage sister
I was literally
anymore.
only saying to Mel, like, yesterday, I was like, Melanie, like, I'm really struggling with my age because I just turned 24. And she was like, you're still so young. You're not young anymore. Like,
I mean, in the sense that, like, I would never, like, roll my eyes at one of your problems because you're an adult.
Yeah.
You know? I hope it doesn't ever seem like that, does it?
I didn't ask this question. How has the different stages of your lives affected your relationship? Like Mel having a child. I feel like our relationship probably has changed a lot since you've had a child. Even, I'd say, since you gave up alcohol as well. Because we used to drink together a lot.
Oh, I do really, really miss drinking with you. Like, even just, like...
We'd have so much fun.
Like, what some of my best memories with you are, like, yeah, just us going out and having a few glasses of wine, or, like... when we were in Amsterdam and we got really high together.
We went to this coffee shop in Amsterdam and oh my god, like, I think we both just took way too much.
Yeah.
And like the room for me was spinning, and we were like in the coffee shop and we were with a group of people
just pissing ourselves laughing, and like
I
can't do stuff like that anymore.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I feel like I've such a responsibility now. Like, I have friends who are really into, you know, mushroom ceremonies and things like that I am interested in, but like I just can't, because, you know, I've never been away from my son overnight. Like, I'm very there, and he's very much like constantly my focus. So like when I stopped drinking, everything socially became more difficult, because like, you know, me and you we'd have a few glasses and unwind, and then we'd have certain deeper conversations that we wouldn't have.
But like,
sober,
even though saying that, I don't drink a lot. Like, I really don't drink.
No,
a lot.
but we did together.
But it was like a little
you
escape
probably
for us
did
together.
You probably drank more because of me.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, since I had my son, obviously, like, yeah, my relationships have changed in general. That like I've become a lot more close to people who I know who also have toddlers, and then, you know, myself and my other friends, like, there's just certain things that, like, it's just a new phase of life, and it's like the same as when you were a teenager and I was in college. Different worlds, you know. So when we became the closest was when our lives were similar, you know, like we were both single, we were both doing YouTube, we were both traveling.
I think that's another big change in our relationship since you had a child, is it's much harder for us to get time together now than it was like prior. Back when we used to hang out together, like I could literally just like text me and be like, I'm coming up tomorrow for the weekend, and it'd be no bother, you'd come down to me. Like, whereas now it's like a lot more planning and you kind of have to organise, and even the last couple of days here, like we've only
it's
had
all built around his schedule,
Yeah.
and his nap, and his, you know, it's
like we only got to talk the first night when he went to sleep. When we got here,
and
we
I wanted
didn't-
to go to bed.
Yeah.
I was so tired because you just are, and
But
yeah.
that's just part of life. Like, it's just constant phases, and but then I'd say as well, once I have a child,
it'll bring us so
much closer,
Yeah.
and then I'll be going to you a lot probably for like Melanie.
Oh well, I think we'll be staying in each other's houses a lot, and like our children growing up together. Yeah, like it's so difficult to find like a 2-day slot to hang out with someone from afar. Like, I'm going to see a friend soon, and the trip has been put off 3 times because I just couldn't carve out enough time for like a longer trip. So it's easier if we lived beside each other. I don't think we'd have this issue.
Even now, Mel, we were meant to, like, we've been trying to see each other since early December. It is now the start of middle of March.
Yeah.
And, like, so many times we had it planned, and then something would either come up on your end or my end.
Just adult life, Jack.
So the next question is, why did you fall out? And another one said, if we're going juicy, give us the rundown of your fight.
So you can't go juicy when it involves someone else who doesn't want to be online. The two of us have established
No, okay, it's not a family member though.
No,
that
it's
makes
not
it
a
sound
family
like it's a
member.
family member.
It's not.
Yeah. It's somebody who's no longer in our lives.
Yes, but
Yeah.
still you have to respect, you know, that
People's privacy.
So anyway, there was a third party to the disagreement. Let's do a rundown of what we can share.
Yeah.
What are you comfortable sharing?
Okay, so what am I comfortable sharing? So let's just say that the third party took it upon themselves to send Melanie a message, and they made out...
Bear in mind, I had like a very tiny baby, and I hadn't slept, and I had been ripped in 3 different directions, and I was really in a bad way. So I got a message, and on face value, like with no context, first of all, and I
was unaware that this message had been sent even. So she got a message that was just very brief, and Melanie...
I assumed it was true without any context.
So she assumed what this person had said was true, and because like she had just had a baby, and you were dealing with so much.
I didn't ring you because I thought it was such an emergency.
Yeah.
You know, and I said something quite like flippant. It probably came off quite dismissive when it wasn't intended that way, and it was more that like I had like a baby like crying, and I was it's just one of those things. We cannot go into the ins and outs of it, but essentially there was a huge amount of miscommunication. If that person wasn't involved, I don't think it would have happened.
Oh no, it wouldn't have happened because that message should never have been sent.
Yeah.
In the first place. Like, it should never have been sent because it was false. It was not a representation of what was happening.
But I should have also rang you. So that's
Mel
where the problem
didn't reach out to me, and I think that's where all the shit show came to life, because if you would have contacted me, but I understand why you didn't, then we would have been able to communicate in that moment, and it would have been sorted. Like, we could have explained the situation, but because of that, it just exploded into this thing, because Melanie said something that came across very dismissive, and it was really hurtful to me, and then that was it.
And then we just can't share more than that, you know. You guys know yourself, like,
and then we didn't talk for months.
Like, and it's not even that it's like, you know, when you say juicy, like, literally miscommunication is so common, and also, like, you know, you can get real stubborn with arguments with family. It's just really hard to forgive and to, like, or to admit wrongdoings. Like, on both sides there was like things said and all that kind of thing, and it's just really difficult to navigate that stuff, and we're still kind of like, you know, doing the work to like sort through. You know, we both have to really show up to our relationship and like make an effort to reach out to each other.
There's another question here about that, actually, like how did your post fallout discussions go? Did you follow a structure? When did you feel seen / heard? And how did you strengthen your bond again? I feel like they all kind of go into one. So, well, our post fallout discussions initially, it was a disaster. It was just like us texting in cap locks and just be like rah, 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 like just barking at each other in the phone, and that's how our initial post fallout discussions go. And then I felt like I needed some space.
Yeah.
You kind of struggled with the fact that I needed space because I think you just wanted to like sort it out, but I wasn't able. I needed to kind of process what had happened before I was able to talk to her and sort it out, because I knew how I was feeling. It wasn't going to get sorted because I was just feeling too like it was too fresh and all. So I
just had to then back off and just stop messaging her, you know, and just I was just praying that it would eventually work out. And like I think I did then reach out like in certain ways eventually, but it got bad. Like, you know, we touched on this in a different video on my channel ages ago, but like we did, like we weren't following each other for a while online, but then people were noticing, and then I was like, oh my god, like and for me, like I had this like physical manifestation of time passing in my son, and I was like, this cannot go on, like, because she's just too important to me. But again, like if she was like, I never want you in my life again, like I would have had to respect that. You just have to, because you know, just because something wasn't as big of a deal for me doesn't mean it wasn't a massive deal for her. Yeah. And that's just where, like, there's a lot of, like, swallowing pride and stuff involved in fixing relationship problems like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same.
You've got to put your ego aside.
Yeah.
Like, totally.
Big time.
And then when did you feel seen/heard? I remember I reached out to you. It was, like, a few months later. And didn't I say that could we have a call? Yeah. Yeah, so I asked, could we have a call, like a FaceTime? Because at that point, like, I felt like I had kind of just, my emotions had eased a bit with the situation, and I felt like I was actually able to have a conversation about it and not let my emotions get involved as well. So we had a FaceTime, and I explained my whole side of it, and then Melanie explained her whole side of it, and we kind of weren't interrupting each other and I feel like a huge thing was that I think that time apart was so important, because if we had tried to have had that conversation,
it would have been awful. We would have
even
been
a month later,
and
like we are very similar when it comes to fights. Like we're very stubborn, like the both of us. I feel at times, especially together, because like family. So I feel like that space did us the world of good, and I think it could have actually, the fight could have deteriorated if we had it sooner. Yeah. So I'd say that was the first time we probably both felt seen and heard. And then like when it comes to strengthening our bond, like it was a real slow burner. Like, so we're
still doing that.
Yeah, we're still doing it. But like for so long, like for months, like I didn't feel comfortable texting you or messaging you or reaching out, and we spoke very little. Like, I remember, like, you might comment under one of my posts and I'd be like, oh my god. Like, I'd be like, and I'd be like, we haven't talked in weeks. And I knew that was your way of, like, trying to, like, slowly ease up. And so
that's how I've, in the past, like, if you know, if you go a long time without, like, speaking to a certain friend or whatever, because of whatever, just, like, life and stuff like that, and then you want to, like, reconnect, like, that, even with other friends, with me, like, if they kind of went off, you know, if they moved away, like, I had a friend move to a different country for a job and everything, and then, like, they moved back, and then they started just, like, and even Thomas, like, my husband, like, I knew him on my peripheral vision for a long time, but anytime, like, he was trying to, like, you know, get something going with me, he would just, like, leave comments under posts online and stuff. It was just a kind of a, like, hello, and that was, like, I just feel like that was important, because it just at least let you know that, like, I was there and I was wanting to talk and I was interested, and
I feel like it just took a lot of time, like, and as you say, like, we're still doing it.
But this is the first weekend, I think, well, this trip anyway, where you've been here, I think this is the first time where I've felt like it's not like old times.
Yeah, I think this is the first time I felt comfortable. The next question says, was it awkward for you both for a while after the fallout? Yeah. Like, I don't think I said this. Wasn't the first time that we saw each other at your son's christening?
Yes.
Okay.
That was
I found it
so odd.
So hard. Like, I really struggled with it. And we didn't communicate about it. Like, we just acted like it's okay. But I
was even, like, I didn't even recognize you. Yeah. Like, I was so not used to even seeing your face that I just kept staring at you. And it was very, I felt really on edge. Like, even you've got some photos of me in the church and all, like, the whole day, like, and it was also because I was worried about him and stuff like that, but I was just on edge. I was just like nervous of us fighting. I thought like we would end up having an argument.
I didn't even know like how to talk to you. I remember I sat on the bed and like we started talking about something, and I was just like, I was literally having intense anxiety, like my hands were shaking, like I was just it was like you were a stranger again.
Yeah. That's it. That's exactly the way to explain it, and that's what I feel like that is gone now. Because, like, and I don't know why or how. I think because we've talked enough times in between. That's what,
and we've had a few phone calls as well. So I think like because initially our communication the last number of months has definitely amped up like a level, and that's it. Has your relationship changed since the argument?
Yeah, I think it's because we used to just talk so much. Like, we used to send each other constant text and voice messages about anything and everything. We don't really do that now. Like, we'll go blocks of like we'll have like one big catch up rather than, you know, initially like turning to each other if we're struggling with something. I feel like we're less inclined to do that now, possibly because of like the way that argument was about in that regard, you know, in that vein.
Yeah. I feel like even there, like last night we were talking and I was saying something, I was like, oh my God, I've not told you any of this. Like, cause there'll just be like weeks where we don't talk, so then it'll be like, or I even mentioned something and you were like, what? And I was like, did I not tell you this? And it's like, oh, I forget we don't kind of like,
what you haven't said.
Yeah. So there's definitely,
space. There's more space.
Yeah, there's definitely more space, but that will probably lessen as
I think
time
it is.
goes
Yeah,
on.
it's lessening. It's even like, even in the last few conversations we've had, like, it's just, I don't know, you just have to build up that level of comfort again, and that just takes time.
It's like a little security net, because our security net was like ripped open,
and
now we need to like tape it back up.
Stitch it.
Have you ever competed with each other, say for a man, woman, or some career opportunity? I put this in because we did. A man.
We did. Oh my God.
And oh my God.
Don't say who it is, please.
I won't say who it is. But can you remember that period of time? Like, what the hell?
I was so uncomfortable. And we never really talked about that either.
No, and he showed interest in the both of us. Yeah. So I think he was really enjoying it. I remember even us being in the hotel room and we'd be like going heads about it, and you'd be saying why it should be you and I'd be saying why it should be me, and me and her would be hanging out with him, just the three of us, and we'd both be trying to get his attention.
Oh, stop. Like, because that, I think, like, one of us, I think if both of us weren't interested in him, one of us would have ended up getting involved there.
And we were both single.
Yeah.
So, like...
Obviously.
No, but maybe some people...
We were single.
But some people, you know, might just be interested in someone.
Yeah.
Just making that clear. But yeah, I agree, one of us would have. But
something would have I don't mean that we would have ended up in a relationship, but I think just something would have happened, you know?
Like a fling.
Sexual. Yeah. I think definitely, like, it was just that kind of time.
I think that, though, did have a little effect in our relationship for a period. Like, I think we were a little bit resentful of each other.
Yeah, because it was weird. Like, it's very weird because we don't have the same taste at all.
And also, he was bang smack middle in both of our ages, so like it was kind
of he was in between.
Doable for both of us. Like, it wasn't like totally off the cards. Like, one of us was kind of going for like a way younger, a way older.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like, yeah, our tastes are miles apart. We don't have anything similar when it comes. But I think
really confusing.
It was their personality.
It was a very confusing time.
But I don't think we've ever competed for anything else, like a career opportunity or...
No, like people could say, you know, like, because the way our job is, like, if we both put up a collab, you're technically competing for people's attention on views. If you put two videos up at the same time, you're both probably kind of like, oh, I hope my video does well.
Yeah.
But it's never in the way that, like, oh, I hope her one doesn't do well.
No, because I'd
want
be happy.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Because it's also, like, it's good for both of us if the other's video does well. So, like, I don't think that counts. And I don't think anything else. I don't think we've ever had a competitive feeling in anything else.
Because it's even like the way, like, you know, you have a bigger audience from me, but I look at that in the sense of, if she can do it, I can do it. Like, I'm not, like, competing, I'm not, like, jealous, I'm not, like, oh, I need to...
But it's also, it's good for you. Like, if then we do videos together and they follow you. Like, it's a good thing.
But
like,
I don't feel like there's no jealousy there.
No.
But I feel like that's kind of an area where there could be a lot of jealousy with people.
Yeah, I think if we were different, or I think if it had started differently, I think if it had been, I don't know, if we'd both gotten into YouTube in a different way or something like that, but just the way we got into it, the way even when your channel started was so collaborative with me, like the two of us were really like,
maybe if we still were talking it would be
yeah
like fucking bitch,
yeah.
I hope your channel dies.
And I also think though, if one of us wasn't doing well, as in like say if it was like if it was your job and you were getting like work and then I wasn't getting work and it wasn't my job, like I'd probably be sad, like well, I don't think we'd compete, you know, I don't think it'd be like that, because you'd feel like that with anyone else doing it then, as if, you know, it wouldn't be ants do each of us. I can't stop thinking about the stuff we were both. I can't stop thinking about that, like how
did
weird.
You forget about that?
No, I didn't forget about it, because I remember thinking about it when because I wrote, like, I have another novel coming out, and like one of the storylines in that is like one of the sisters is shagging this guy, and the other sister becomes really like has him on a pedestal, and there's a lot of like weird kind of, it's like not a love triangle, but it's just a weird situation. It was, and I'm like, but I thought that in my head was kind of born of like Little Women. Do you know that was on the TV last night? Yeah, because that's kind of like, I wanted like that, the whole sisters thing. I've always like loved Little Women, but in Little Women, like one of the guys like really loves one of the sisters, and then she doesn't want to be with him, so he ends up with the other sister, and it's just this whole thing. But that just made me, when I was talking to Thomas about that storyline, he mentioned...
Did he?
Yeah, because I told him about...
Can you imagine, though, if one of us did? I think we ended up agreeing to leave it.
Yeah.
We did.
We had to.
Oh, we had to, because it was starting to be...
Imagine if one of us got involved with
That's what I was going to say. It would have really affected our relationship. And I feel like it would have really hurt the other one's ego.
Yeah, it would have.
Like, why?
Oh my God, imagine you like fancied someone and then they pick your sister over you. It'd be the worst feeling ever.
Jess. Yes. Jess, do you find you look up to Mel a lot as the big sister and have similar ambitions? I feel like I definitely like look up to Mel in the sense of like, she's a fucking amazing mammy. Like, I actually can, Mel. Really? Like, oh, you're so good. Like, you're fucking amazing.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said.
No, like, really, like, and I think as well,
yes,
just like from, you know, you're just doing everything that we
always said we would do.
Yeah, that we said we would do when we have kids, and I'm just so proud of you, and just watching you, I want to be like that when I have a mum. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I definitely look up to you in that sense, and like even the last few days, like I've just kind of, a few times you wouldn't have even noticed, but I'm just like watching you, and you're just I can't even put words on how fucking good of a job you do with it. Like,
stop, you're gonna make me cry.
And like,
I'm gonna cry in this video. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me in my life.
Really?
Yeah. Because as well as because I really respect your opinion on that, and like it's one of the things that like I'm the most like nervous of ever fucking up is with him, you know?
That's what I mean, like I feel like he's so lucky, like he's so blessed, like I just feel like he's going to turn out to be such an incredible young man, and that's going to be down to you. Like Thomas is an amazing dad too, like oh my God, but like you just as a mum, like she's
but me though, but
yeah, but you anyways, Thomas.
Oh, Jess.
But like so I definitely look up to her, and like
I felt like that though with like other people like that I've watched online. I know they're not like my siblings, but I've always like when I've been watching them, from the, you probably feel like that with people like us that you watch, where it's like a bigger sister sensation of like that's the role that you would assign. I've had that with like certain YouTubers who had kids, and then I've always been like I want to be like that kind of a mom.
But it's different, I think, because like the more like when I see you, it's just in your real life. Like you're not, if you were actively filming it, you could be putting on a bit more if you wanted. Yeah. Behind closed doors, you're just amazing.
Oh, that's so nice, Jess.
And like, so 100% look up to her. And even like with like finally now like getting your house and all, like, because I feel like me and you have always had similar ambitions like that. It's like family, like have a family, get a house, like just have this, build your own security. And
and now, like, I've had people challenge me on this, saying like, oh, it's so traditional. I thought you weren't traditional. I was following you because I thought you weren't traditional. And there's nothing wrong with those traditional things. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing weird or wrong about wanting to establish like a secure life, especially when you come from a fractured home. You know, like though that is like an inbuilt thing of like, I need to build, like, you know, it's a safe, you know what I mean? Like, and it's
But also, like,
feel way more secure.
But like your life
calm.
changes. Like just because when you were younger you were doing things that weren't traditional, it doesn't mean that you can't then.
I thought you were about to say you were having threesomes. I don't know. I thought that I just expected those words to come out of your mouth, and then like the quotes, because like I was like, what? Why are you doing this? But I still don't see any of that as like non-traditional. It was just my age.
But that would be how other people would be seeing it, probably.
Yeah.
Like the things you used to speak
I
about
have
and
a
all.
lot of very traditional like goals, values, like all that kind of stuff, and yeah, like a settled life with a partner that I'm very happy with, and a happy home has been the pinnacle of what I have wanted in life. Because from that you can still travel, you can still do all of the things you want to do.
Bourbon here. I'm having a lot of gas.
But from that you can still do all of the fun, amazing things. There's no reason that has to be boring. And also, you know, there's so many ways to like have that be spicy and, you know,
Saucy.
try new things. Yeah, like you just have to be playing with a good team player who's on the same level as you and wants the same kind of lifestyle. There's nothing boring about that, you know. And yeah, I've just had people being like, oh, you just want to get married and have kids and fucking why pick a fence kind of thing. Like, it's just like, so
This question kind of ties in with something we were saying earlier, so I just thought it'd be good to throw in. But is it okay to be distant with your sister? Mine's still a teenager and we're not getting along. When I was a teenager and Melanie was in her 20s, we had like next to no relationship.
no, we
like
had nothing to talk about.
we had nothing. We related on nothing. We were in such different areas of our lives. Like you'd come down, we might play a game bloody Mario or something, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. That's so normal, and I wouldn't worry about something like that, because it's as you get older, and then think of how much your life yous are both older adults, you know, like that's when you're gonna actually have a relationship. So I'd say like just let her be, because teenagers are so hormonal, you know, so like I don't think that's a thing. But
I tried to just let you always know that you could talk to me, but then like you just wouldn't want to a lot of the time. But that's different than me just like being like, I couldn't be physically present very much because I was doing a degree, and you know, I was in a
also like
relationship.
our family situation prevented us kind of spending much time together at all. Like we saw very little of each other, so all them things kind of come into play.
Yeah.
But okay, and then we will wrap up on this question because I think it's a nice one. But honest opinion on the other's partner.
Oh, that's a lovely question,
Isn't it?
Yeah, I was only saying this to you though, like I like Jeremy more than anyone else Jessie has been involved with. Like I've always like had a bit of a like
concern.
How do I say this? So with Jeremy, I just got immediate like warm, nice, like not like nice guy, but just like warm vibes of like that he like was really serious about you, and that he was really like just a man. Jesus, like. Obviously they were all men. Okay, I'm just saying. So Dermot just has that like adult vibe, and just that he's just like an he's just very easy to talk to, and I don't get this kind of ulterior motive vibe
Like a
of
team
him.
player.
Like a team player. No, like with Jeremy, right, so with some of Jessica's other ones, you know, I just had, concerns about maturity or like anger issues, or that they weren't, like one of them, I was like, he just wants to use her following to build his own following online. And like, you know, most of the relationships you've had, like toxic. Bad news. And I would talk to you about that, and I'd be like, look, you have to pay attention to this feeling, and stuff. But no, I've not had that about Dermot.
Yeah.
So, and that's a really important thing to me. I even said that to Thomas. I was like, I was like, oh, I'm so glad she's not going out with someone.
Arsehole.
Some arsehole, yeah. How do you feel about Thomas?
Well, I've known Thomas today. What, you together 5 years?
Coming up on 5 years.
Yeah, I love Thomas. I absolutely adore Thomas. Like, I think he's incredible. I've said this to you from day one, but I feel like Thomas is everything that Melanie needs in a partner.
Yeah,
and
he's everything I'm not.
Yeah, literally. Like, he gives her all the qualities that she lacks in, and then and vice versa. Like, you just balance each other out so well.
Yeah, like he says about me stuff like, you know,
this is my honest opinion, and not your honest
opinion. Oh yeah, so no, but like for example, like he's so together, and like he always says about me that like I'm really fun, and that like I make situations always really fun, because he can be quite serious, you know, and like we do balance each other out, and like, you know, we both have our qualities and bring them both to the relationship and stuff. But he is just like, I don't even know how he's a real person. I just sometimes I'm like, how are you a real person? Like, he's just so exactly what I always wanted in a partner. And for me, it's just, do you know what it is? It's like finding someone that you fancy and who fulfills who ticks all those other boxes.
Yeah.
Usually for me, it was one or the other.
Yes.
Like any like flings I had, or like shorter relationships, it was always very like a sexual chemistry. It was always very, you know,
there was something lacking,
but there was just no long-term potential, or it was like long-term potential, but then there was no like chemistry, you know, or like you know, spark, or like, you know, you'd never ever want to just like fucking rip their clothes off. It's nice to just fucking be mad about someone.
Yeah, like
proper mad.
I've never seen Melanie the way she is with Thomas, with someone else. Like, and I just know like this is it for them, and that makes me, like what you were saying with Jamie, like that makes me so happy, because like you went through some absolute shit.
Yeah, Jessie's not the only one who like was attracted to like
arseholes. Like let's not go there, but like let's just say we had some similar tastes in our teenagers.
Yeah,
like very similar. But yeah, even me, like I feel so happy that you're with someone now who
he's just such a good man,
and like take care of you, and like he's just supports you and is there, and he's such a good dad as well, and like he's someone you can actually build a life with. Whereas like if you ended up with some of your previous partners, like, oh my god, I actually just can't.
I just think back and I'm just
you gotta kiss a few frogs till you meet your Prince Charming. Yeah, you know?
Kiss those frogs, shag those frogs. Just enjoy it while it's, you know, you have to enjoy the ride. We need to go.
Yeah, okay, we'll wrap it up here for today, but we also filmed a video over on Melanie's channel, so you can
touch my hair.
Touch your hair.
Just touch my hair. You're sweaty.
Fuck off. We also filmed a video over on Melanie's channel, so I'll have that link below. But yeah, this isn't the last you'll see of us, so we'll see you again super soon, and bye.
Day.